All right, we should be up and running here in just a second. We'll be going over the market and today's plays. Hopefully, you did well today. I thought kind of a boring day, but we'll take a look at the market, take a look at the plays, and talk about what to expect for tomorrow. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for April 8th, 2021. So coming into today, the bias was bullish, but not the best time to be starting new long positions. That's really how we've been for the last couple of days. But the market has continued to trudge higher, to march higher. You can see quite a few days up in a row here. If we gap up again tomorrow, I think I'm going to be looking at primarily short opportunities at the open. So I'll be focused on the gap downs. Maybe we'll have some novice gap ups as well to work with. We'll see. But not bearish on the market. It's just the same as it has been. It's extended up. Qs and SPY haven't really done a pullback. But the thing with these narrow bars is that they do serve as a rest for the market to kind of set up for the next move, right? If we were getting wider range green bars and more in a row, you can see the last couple of days have really been stuck in a range, and today pretty range bound, but did print above and gap above the last couple of days. So, it's not an easy call here on the market bias for tomorrow. I think for the days and weeks ahead, a little bit easier and that's the way it has been recently, especially the SPY. SPY has been pretty straightforward, just higher, all-time highs, bullish, right? Daily uptrend, weekly uptrend, monthly uptrend, so on and so forth, right? So, yeah, kind of waiting going into tomorrow on the market, especially at the open. Do we get some kind of pullback? Are we just going to continue to put in these small bars and march higher? It's definitely a possibility, especially when the bars are kind of like that. They're getting this kind of grind. It is sustainable. Now you can see the difference between like in this weekly chart on the Qs here. We at least have some red bars here, some inside bars. If we compare kind of like what the daily is doing on the Qs here, it's kind of just green, 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 green. Now this day did kind of print a low below the previous day's low, and this bar kind of more closed where it opened. But for the most part, just up. It's been up for the last couple of weeks. Okay, so not bearish on the market, but kind of cautious on starting new positions going into tomorrow. Okay, so not that much has changed. Still bullish overall. All right, let's go over the plays from today. If you were trading with me while I was on the mic, we did give this APRE a shot. It was a gap that I liked initially and at the open, but then it got sold. That's fine. No play on it. And then kind of got this big pop here, and then wanted to see how much this was going to keep on going. So we got the pullback, okay, and played it over this bar right here, over a 55. I think I got filled like 57. So that's fine. Played it over that. Stop underneath here, okay? And we were in it for the new highs. You can see, right after that, it had a decent enough pop. But I was looking for more, right? It wasn't much. And maybe it was asking a little bit too much of something that just put in a move like that. But it had pulled back to the 20 MA and then base for a bit to set up kind of the next move. And if you're doing like a measured move, right, that definitely wasn't enough. But trailed it underneath this red bar, essentially break even, because you can see we got the decent sized bar, put in the inside bar. It's almost textbook as far as breakout failure there, so we killed it there. If you wanted to stick with it, I don't think that's a problem really. Could have seen if it had another move in it. The only thing is, and this is what I kind of told the room as well, is that on something like this where I'm joining in, it's late in a bit in a way, and kind of a lot of the move has probably already been made, and we're seeing how much further this wants to go, how much more demand is going to carry this higher. When you're doing it that way, then I really don't want to live through a pullback, right? It's a little bit different, and not just because the FGN yesterday was a gap down, but when you're mostly doing something that's like a grind like this is a lot more sustainable. Something like this, right, which is kind of a quick move, and looking to play what kind of follow through there's going to be, you don't want to expect too much, right? Especially if it doesn't continue to surge, right? So maybe an even better example was James's call in the ZUO, right? He played it in the morning on this breakout. So on something like this, right, you're not getting these gigantic, which the APRE for this chart, yeah, it's like kind of a really big bar. When it's not doing that, then this kind of thing is more reasonable to expect it to keep on going. In which case, if you want to live through a pullback, right, it makes more sense to do, okay, and then be in it till end of day, right? So you can kind of see the difference, how this thing got going. A lot of it's from the gap, and then these bars are not out of control. APRE, on the other hand, really big move. A lot of buying is going to get used up in this move here, big volume. So looking for some continuation. Got the new highs, but did not get the target. So, break even. But a really nice call from James on the ZUO. So that was that. I mean, if you're with me in the room, we'll go over the plays. Some will be winners, some will be losers, and some will be break even. And APR today happened to be one that was break even. So hopefully tomorrow we'll get some better gaps. One of the big problems today was that the gaps list was really poor. Yesterday we had two favorites, Geo and the FGen, right? So when that's the case, that's great. Well, and Geo, a nice continuation. Today didn't play it, but would have been nice. Geo and FGen, right? We just did not have the really impactful gaps, And we're not really supposed to be expecting this to happen every day because we are waiting for earnings season to start. This is kind of the quietest period prior to the week before earnings season starts. So that's fine. Nothing really kind of too curious or odd about it. It's just that time of the year. And if the market's putting in narrow range bars, right, that's going to be different. Because if we look at last year at this time, right, when the market was moving a lot more, right, then there's going to be a lot more opportunities. You're going to see a lot more volatility. That means more movement, right? So narrow bars, poor gaps list doesn't really, for me, for my trading style, doesn't make for a great environment. Okay. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. If it's not a good gaps list, then the goal will be stay out of trouble. If they're good gaps lists, if it's a good gaps list, we have some good gaps, then the focus is quality, right? As it has been for the last few weeks. Okay. Hope you did well today, or at least stayed out of trouble. I will talk to you tomorrow to finish out the week. Have a good rest of the day.